So, back at the lake again today. Been here for an hour already trying the lure. Thought the camera was recording, but apparently my SD card was full. So I've sorted that out now, so I'm going to start doing some recording properly. I brought over a lure rod today, but I am doing some dead baiting. Just wanted to throw the lures around for a little bit first to see if I could get an early start on a pike. And then this will be the last spinner I try. I did buy some new cheap spinners, but I really like the look of this one, so this has gone on. I've also tried a crankbait as well, and like I said earlier on the video, but obviously it didn't record. My fingers. That's a hook. With these type of baits, they've got the plastic diving beaks on. The longer the beak, further down it dives. So if you're fishing somewhere quite shallow, you want quite a short beak. If you're fishing somewhere deep, you want a longer beak. This is quite shallow here, so that beak is perfect for here. Bought some cheap spinners. I've already tried that silver one at the top there. Nothing, no follows. Just giving this little perch one a try. I've already worked my way around from there and around. I've got some grub tails to try next. Give them a go. Because with lure fishing, it might be that there is a pike in the area, but it just doesn't want to chase that bait. Or it's not recognising it as a bait. Or it doesn't want to chase it because it's too fast, or it's going too slow. You gotta try a couple of different ones. Like the session I uploaded as a short was I was here for about 2.5 hours. I tried 4 or 5 different lures. It was that last lure that I actually caught on. I caught 2 pike on that one. Unfortunately, I only recorded the catch of 1. We give the grub tails a try. Right there. Quite a lot of snags in this water, so I bought some dead bait pencils to run a float ledger, because I can't run the ledger rig, because with the ledger rig I've got I'm gonna keep getting caught on snags all the time, and that's the last thing I want. Right, so we've got, as long as I don't snap the tail off it as I pull it out the bag. So I've got a couple of little, I bought 2 of each one for me, one for my boy. So I got a fire tiger and a nice silver one, and some jigs, some large jig heads. Unfortunately, didn't have any lighter ones, so I've had to go for the 10 grams, which probably a little bit too heavy for over here. But it's just gonna have to work, isn't it? Okay, so we'll just get this lined up. That's where I want. The hook to come from. Quick score. In through the mouth. These, I believe, are the Fox Rage Pro Grubs. Fed around a little bit more. Because our hook point's not coming out in the right place. Hopefully, yep, there we go. It's slightly off center, but as long as it doesn't affect the movement of the lure, yeah, that's fine. It's not going to affect the movement of the lure, that's perfect. let's get this grub tail out. Don't get any luck on this one. I'll try the silver grub tail and then out with the dead baits. One odd thing I've noticed with this lake when I've been float fishing is it fishes quite well on the float until up to about 11:30 and then stops fishing well. Don't really catch any silvers from about 11:30 till about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But a lot of my pike catches have come between 11:30 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think what happens is the silver fishing switches off because the pike are about. We want to go out that way first. I think. That was a terrible cast. It's not the most aerodynamic of shapes with the with that curly grub tail on the back, but the movement is absolutely fantastic. I do love my soft plastics. I think it's just a confidence thing, to be honest. I will use the hard plastics, the crankbaits and such, but I much prefer the soft plastics. As I said, I think it's just a confidence thing. Got a couple of the Savage Gear dark water and cool water cannibal shads as well, so I got those to try. But I'll be throwing lures out every now and again throughout the day anyway. I'll have 2 dead bait rods out. Only allowed to use 3 rods over here, so I'll pull one of the dead bait rods in. Oh, that's all tangled up. I'll pull one of the dead bait rods in and just cast out a lure, just to see if I can get anything out on the lures, because on days like this where it's quite sunny, not particularly warm, no, it is getting colder, but on days like this where it's sunny, I think the pike might be more up for chasing as opposed to having the deads. That water is fairly cold though, so, and we have got a bit of a southerly wind, which probably isn't gonna help. I got one of my dead bait rods already set up as a float ledger, but the other one is just set up as a normal float. So I may just keep it as a float and then bring it in if I don't get anything on my drift. You'll see, play it by ear. So I've had quite a good success on drift float over here in the past. More mussels. couple of them, but I normally end up with them on my hook at some point, or they'll just decide they're going to clamp onto my line and cut me off. Which is another reason why I'm going with the float ledgers as opposed to just a straight ledger, because I don't want to leave a baited up treble in the lake, because that could potentially spell death for any pike that's in here. I've been trying with the lures now for just over an hour in this spot, resulting in nothing, but there was some fish jumping over there, I think. So there might be a pike hanging around. Get the vibrations probably going a little bit faster with a pause. No, you don't. Just move over to here. See if I can get a little bit closer to that tree without actually getting in the tree. Right. A little bit closer again. No, I'd say there's no pike in this area, so let's get whack it right up to there, because I know there's nobody else around there. This is where I end up losing my grub now, because I'm in those bloody bushes. There we go. Right, nothing. What we'll do, we'll just pop this rod away so it doesn't look like we're using 3 rods, and we'll get the dead baits out. Okay. catch you in a bit when I come back after everything's set up. Right, so I finally got them set up. My left hand rod is a float ledger. Hopefully you can just about see it up there, with a bit of lamprey on, because there are eels in here, and one of the pike I caught on the lures regurgitated an eel, so they're obviously eating them in here. So I thought I'd give the lamprey a try. We got a float, just like a drift float. I'm actually fishing there a little bit on the bottom, with a whole mackerel on with the head cut off, so it oozes some of that blood out, and hopefully attracts the pike. One or two little beeps on my float ledger, but no actual movement. The bobbin is steady, hasn't dropped down, hasn't lifted up. So just a case of playing the waiting game now and seeing what we get out. I got both of them sat on alarms as well, just in case I end up getting distracted by something, or one goes off while I'm setting the other one back up or whatever, just so I know I've got to run, so I can strike nice and early, because I do not want a deep hooked fish. It's the last thing I want. I've got all my unhooking equipment there, including my side cutters, but let's see what the day brings, and hopefully I will be back soon with a fish on. Right, so my float ledge is riding a little bit lower in the water now, so let's see if there's anything on. Oh, nothing on. We'll give that another cast out. Like I've said before on these, I'm quite paranoid about deep hooking a fish. Deep hooking a pike. It's the last thing I want to do, so I'd rather strike too early, completely miss a fish, than strike too late and having a deep hook. But as you can see, little bit, nice bit of lamprey on. I've got them bait elasticated on, because otherwise I end up catapulting them out into the lake. So let's get this back up. That's about right. Just wind that in a touch. Sink the line a little bit. Right. Just get that on there. Nice tight line. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's wind that in tiny bit, and then wasn't expecting my alarm to go off so much then, otherwise I would have switched it off. But I'm much happier with how that float is now sitting. It's not riding low in the water, so it should give me the best indication. Hopefully I will come back shortly with a fish. We're in, guys. We've got one on the... We've got one from the... Yeah, nice little jack. We've got one from the ledgered. Got one from the ledgered lamprey. Let's get my net ready. I should have done this first. What an idiot. Come on. Started, had a nice little twitch on it, then the float had one or two beeps, then the float went, and then it went on a nice proper run. There we go, and we're in. Okay, time to get this all unhooked, ready to go. Okay. Oh, no, you don't. Come on. Right, where are these trebles? There's one set of trebles. Hopefully the others aren't too far in, so it's on this side. Come on. I don't want you catching yourself on those trebles, Pikey. And this is why I also do the quick release, because we'll get it's not too bad. No, you don't. Open up, please. Right. Right, the side cutters. Let's get rid of this barb. Come on, open up. Open up, Mr. Pike. And they're out. Let's get him all nice and rested up. Let's rest him up in the margins, and then we can get a photo. Leave him rest up for a minute, because that hook was quite deep down. I managed to get it out and then he flapped, so it ended up stuck in the top of his mouth. I snipped one of the barbs off, so I'm just gonna have to set up another trace now. I think he's ready to go. Normally I'd hold on to him, but he was ready. And I'd pick up all my trebles and everything else now, so nobody ends up accidentally stepping on him. So they're in my tackle box away. If I can reuse them, I'll reuse them. If not, I will dispose of the one that I snipped the point off to get it out. Let's get some more lamprey out now. Yeah, that one will do. That will be nice. Okay, we'll put, so I don't drip it all over my bags. We'll get one in the tail. And just really push it in there, and then we'll get this one then a little bit further down. Just get the barb in there. Bit of bait elastic as well, just to secure it all on, because I know this will come flying off otherwise. Bait elastic out ready. Just secure that top bit so that can be clipped back onto my trace. Give it a good wrapping around, and I just realised I've left my frozen bait bag open, so these are no longer frozen. I should have closed that down. Fishing with me is always, I always end up forgetting to do something. Not normally when it comes to fish care, but when it comes to actually getting everything set up, I'm normally forgetting something. Let's get this all nicely wrapped around. And then we'll get the lamprey back out, because hopefully they're in the mood for lamprey. I've already had just a little beep on my float, but no action yet. So there might be something around there. There might even very well be that that pike, that jack that I've just caught. Once that's wrapped around, we'll just snap that off. A bit of elastic can go there. And get this all nicely clipped back in. Hands, because that lamprey is slimy as hell. And then we'll get this back out. Make sure nothing is tangled. Nope, it's all good. Make sure that drag is nice and tight. And I know that's about right where we wrapped around the top of the rod. I always get paranoid and double check that. There we go. And we'll get this back up, hopefully get another pike. Seeing as they do seem to be in the mood for feeding today. So right, that float has disappeared, so that's a little bit deeper than it was. Let's bring that back in and deepen that float up a little bit. Let's get that float just a little bit deeper, because it must be a little bit deeper out there. Let's see if that works. These are 3-pound test curve dead bait rods from they're the Advanta ones, because I'm a budget angler. There we are. A little bit deeper for that float to sit up properly, I think. That's the thing with the float ledger, you just got to make sure you can actually see that float. So, and then when you wind down into it, then you want to make sure that that float stays on top. And you can have it so there's slightly laying, so that if you get a bite that comes up towards you, it takes it up towards you. It lays the float dead flat, but I'd rather have it sat up properly. Let's get this out. Yeah, that's better. Alright, I can tighten up to that now. And have the float sitting up. And switch this alarm off so I can fiddle around with it without annoying everybody else on the lake. And then bail arm off. There we go. And what I'll do, that float one can be my roaming rod. I'll cast that back out, get that set a little bit set somewhere else. That's the one thing I'm going to keep forgetting to do with these reels, because I'm used to bait runners. I'm going to keep forgetting to set my drag. Okay. So there's a snag right there. I don't know if you just saw that come out of the water. Let's wind that up a bit more, and we'll get that mackerel back out somewhere else. Loosen that drag right off. My float has just come and sat on the top, so I think that's just come unclipped. Right, I think I got something on that. Come on, swans, out the way. Not sure if I got something on now, whether it's just not quite set at the right depth. I'm gonna have to bring this underwater so I don't catch those swans as I bring it in. Come on, swan, out the way. Right, that was must have tangled on the cast, so we'll just get that untangled and then get it back out again. Oh, swan. Right, what the hell has happened here? Right, that can go through there. Right, one of my trebles has come out, that's why. That couldn't have been sat in properly. Let's find the barb. There's the barb. And we'll get that properly popped right through. There. Get a bit of elastic again. Just put some more elastic on that to keep it on. Right, that float is too shallow, so I'm gonna bring that in because that's far too over depth. One of the problems with float fishing, plus the depth on this lake changes quite a lot, so you end up with let's unclip that. So what happens is you end up having to change the depth that you're fishing at every now and again because it doesn't, because the depth changes. So 1 minute you're fishing fine, the next minute you can cast it back out that little bit later on, and you're fishing too shallow because the water levels have dropped, or if it starts raining, all of a sudden you're fishing too shallow. Let's get this bit of elastic wrapped back around this. Does it need to look neat? The pike don't care whether it's neat or not. All they care about is whether they can eat it. And I gotta shut my bait bag up, because otherwise I'm gonna have a ton of frozen defrosted bait. And you're gonna have to potentially throw out. Right, that should do that. Put that in my pocket. Get this sent back out. we go. It's now wrapped around the top. There we go, that's all set up nicely. Just leave a little bit of that out. Till that float pops up. Tighten that drag back up before I forget. And my bobbin clipped on. And the bail arm open. Get that alarm switch back on. Let's bring this one back in. I'll either cast this somewhere a bit deeper. Right, I'll have to watch that because something's going on with that. I don't want false indications. No, it's still sitting on top. I'm gonna have to shallow that up a little bit because that's still too deep. Right, there we are, stop now. Must have just been settling down. I could swap this one over to lamprey, but I think I'm going to stick with mackerel for a minute because last season I was doing quite well on the mackerel and didn't get any bites on the lamprey, so stick with the mackerel just in case the mackerel gets the bigger ones, whereas the lamprey just gets the jacks. And there goes my mackerel. I might try herring. So we got some herring there. So I'll put some herring on. Give that a try. But let's see what's going on with this. Right, so both of my rods have just had beeps on them. So I don't know, I think I've got something around them. Just keeping an eye on the floats now, see if the floats move at all. So my float rod has now gone off twice. So I'm just going to go over to the float rod ready. I'm not sure whether I just got something swimming around in the area and it's bumping into it. But we'll get ready to pick up. Right, okay, so that's going off. So, as I said, I'd much rather strike and miss a bite than I'd much rather strike and miss a bite than have a deep hook fish. Nothing on this one. But what I'll do, I'll get this back out there again and hopefully we'll hook up. I think I might do is take this off the bottom a little bit. Nothing's even been nibbling on that, so I'll take it up off the bottom a little bit, I think. Keep an eye on that one because that one's going off. I don't think it's any wind catching it. Loosen that drag back off. Got quite overcast now as well. Can be quite good for predator fishing. As the light levels drop down, they start coming out to hunt. See, why is that going? I think that might be the wind. I think that might be the wind catching it. Let's reduce the sensitivity a little bit. That's better. No false indications now. Right. Let's go back. This one just nudged my float, I think. Bobbin's not moving. Right. GoPro stop recording. GoPro stop recording. Right, so no more fish yet. I think I'm going to wind my baits in, have a check on them, see if they need refreshing, and then cast them out elsewhere. Oh, there is a bit of a ripple there from a fish. The silver. I'll give her another couple of minutes, I think. I've just seen a little bit of a ripple, so there's silvers around. So we may get another run in another couple of minutes. If I get nothing in a couple of minutes time, then I'll wind them in, check on the state, and like I said, recast them, see if I need to freshen them up at all. I'll have one going out there, I think, and then I'll just have my float roaming around the swim a little bit. It's quite a pleasant day out. Lots of bird life on the lake today. Those swans keep going over my line and keep setting my alarm off constantly. But it's quite nice. There's a couple of other people fishing, but I think there's one, maybe two carp fishing. What I've found with this lake is you'll start of the season, you'll get a couple of people over here for fishing for the pike, and then as the weather starts getting a little bit colder, for some reason they'll stop coming over. I'm not too sure why, because as it gets colder, that's, for me at least, that's when you're going to get more bites on the dead baits. See if we get any action going on these. Sun's come out a little bit now. Hopefully I'll come back to cast, and then hopefully we'll have another fish on. GoPro stop recording. GoPro stop recording. Right, so it's recasting time. I haven't had anything develop, so let's get this in a different spot. There we go. It's looking okay, but next retrieval I'll swap that for a fresh bait. And yeah, I'm going to cast over that way, so I always like to have my rods pointing at my bait, so we'll move that around. There we go. Let's get that out my line clip. Might have to adjust this a little bit. It's quite slippery here. I'm going to end up falling in the lake in a minute. I know that's okay. Should be able to just tighten that up. Spin that around a little bit. That'll work. Let's get this one back in. Shallow it off a little bit, I think. Oop, done it again. Shallow this one off, I think. I went drifting around a little bit. Yeah, that's still looking okay. That looks fine. Drop this down a little bit because I want this to drift around my swim now. There. We'll get that cast out this way. Wind it in a little until it moves. There you go. Both back on. Slightly different spots. Let's see how it goes. I'm happy with the way they're set. Right, GoPro stop recording. These swans have been a nuisance today. I keep catching my float ledger all the time. About to set it back up now 5 times. Every time I think I've got a running all. These are little menaces. They just keep going over my lines all the time. My float rod will probably beep now because they're going to hit the line on that. Oh, no more fish yet. I've put fresh bait on though, so hopefully we'll get another one. At least one more. It'd be nice if we get one more when my son turns up. Got my lure rod here for him, or he's got the float rod, so it's whatever one he decides he wants to use. Depends on if he's in the mood for silverfish or whether he wants pike. But then there's no guarantee with the pike, whereas with the silverfish he should catch at least one. Got some casters and some maggot for him. Casters are looking a bit, they were only opened yesterday, but they're looking a bit old now. They've gone very dark. I buy a vacuum seal, but of course as soon as you break that vacuum, then the oxygen gets in and it starts turning them. Should be alright for this session. If he decides he's not using the caster, then all I'll do with that is just dump it into the lake. A couple of guys were walking around lure fishing. They haven't come back, so I'm assuming they've just given up and gone home. They didn't get anything. Lake's probably going to start getting busy when the school closes. As soon as school finishes, I should imagine quite a few people will be over here lure fishing with the pike. Got about 2 hours left. Hopefully get something, hopefully get another one. GoPro stop recording. Right. Bring that float in. And mackerel's been on for a little while now, so I'll bring that float in and get a fresh bait on. I'll put some herring on instead. Let's see if they're in the mood for that today. The light levels are going down, so I'm hoping. Canada is looking a bit manked up now. So let's just unclip that. Just lay that down and get all the bait elastic off and get a fresh bait out there. I can go down there. Swans will eat that, I expect. Let's see if the herrings are big enough. Smelt. That's the herring. Just about, I think. We get a whole herring out. I don't think I got any shorter traces, but still frozen. There was a swan again. There's the barb. Let's get that right through the tail. Yeah, nice, just about. And let's get that in and through. Same as last time. We'll cut the head off as well. Get a little bit of get a bit of fresh blood in the water. You get the bait elastic and wrap that around. I think that's the swan again. Yeah, nothing on that swan. Let's get that cast back out again. Get this back out again. And switch that alarm off. Bait elastic this herring up. Let's see what we got. No, not that pocket. That pocket. Yeah, that's alright, that's right in there. you go. Let's get this clip back on and send back out. Yeah. Through the eye. Back out we go. Alright, let's get that over to, I think. There you go. Just making sure I switch this one back on. There we go. Close this back out and hopefully that's going to result in a run. Hopefully when I come back next it's going to be because I've got another fish on. Go. There he is. The son of the father and son fishtails. No singing. It's copyrighted. We'll get banned from YouTube. Where are you sitting? You don't have to sit all the way over there.
I'm sitting there. I'm singing too. Hi guys.
What's that mark? What's that mark on your chin?
Chocolate probably.
All right, okay.
Hi guys. Back from school.
Wait, when are you going to sit right by there, are you?
Yeah, the guys can try to start off with. I see any little fish jumping.
No, I've had one.
Actually?
Yeah.
Where?
On my float ledger.
Did you actually pick it up and reel it in?
Yeah, I think I got all the unhooking and everything as well on the camera.
Oh, can I, Daddy?
Yeah.
If you get one, could I possibly have the float rod and the pike rod?
How's that fair?
Please, I let you little bit float fish with me as well, pinky
Right,
promise.
what rod you having then? Because that's my float ledger right there,
Yeah.
and that's my float
I
one.
thought you were talking about a little fish then.
No,
So what's that one?
that's my float rod. That's the pike float. That's the pike float ledger.
What one did you have it on?
On the float ledger.
I have the float ledger.
Yeah.
Could you get me set up, please?
Right, that's me not getting a pike again today.
Oh,
That's Clark. That's Clark. That's Clark having one.
lawyer over.
Yeah, I brought the lure rod and the float rod. I didn't know what one you wanted to do.
And maybe do a little bit of float and lure.
But if you're lure fishing, Clark, you can only lure fish this part because you can't go walking around because I've got all my stuff by here.
Can I maybe do a little bit of float?
And you want to do some float first?
Yeah, we're going to definitely don't catch one on the float.
Right,
But I always do, haven't I?
let's set up your float rod then.
And I get a photo of me catching a fish, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Hello guys! Hello there. And it's all that is on camera.
Right, here you go.
Daddy, defender, right.
No, I've got him sat on. I got him sat on alarms clock, so I know.
Out too far though, but I want at least see his defender. They'd be able to see me catch a fish on camera. Imagine if it could be a giant pike about that size, Daddy, on my float.
I'm not sure if I've still got the hook on this. Ah, yes, I have.
Imagine if I get a size 10 pike on my float rod. I'll be laughing. You can't get pike on the float rod, can you?
No, because they'll just bite through the line, Clark.
Yeah,
so you're not
Daddy.
going to catch one.
So is it alright if you get pike on? Can I?
People have brought them in on these before, but it's more of a fluke than anything, I think.
Daddy, if you can I maybe?
Right, what do you want? Just caster or maggot?
Maggot. Daddy,
Alright, put a maggot on then.
if you get a fish on the reel, can I maybe feed it in? Oh yes, it's my rod now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Clark, the maggots are in here.
Get 2 maggots. Can't get them.
Careful how you open it. Oh, hiya, hen, he's just got here. Okay, love you. Bye, hen. Bye, hen. Bye.
I don't know how to do it. I never.
Right,
know.
first off, you pop it in your mouth and warm it up a
No.
bit.
No.
Look, you just get the fat end.
Yeah.
The fat end, you just lightly hook it in.
Okay.
Because you don't want it bursting. You want 2 on?
Daddy, yeah. Little bit mean.
You want 2
poking
white?
through the
You
eye.
want 2 whites, do
Yeah,
you?
straight through the eye, Daddy. You bloody mean thing. Daddy, they wouldn't be out far, would they?
No, they're not going to be out too far, Clark.
Do you think they'd be biting
Just
on?
just
do you
watch
think
my
they might be biting on lawyers today.
on lawyers.
Lures.
They might be biting on lures. Not lawyers though.
Is it okay if I do a little bit of float then?
And I suppose if there's one swimming in the lake, they might bite on a lawyer. Right, here you are, Clark.
How are pike dumb enough not to bite the hook again, like other fish? That's my question. Well, they should be smart enough to know not to bite on a.
Yeah, just watch my line. Don't go over my line. So you got. See where my line is?
Yeah. I don't know where the line is.
Okay, so you got this
Ooh.
side.
Dad, your line is moving.
Yeah, it's going to, Clark. That doesn't mean there's a fish on.
Good.
Yeah, it's fine. Just keep an eye on that float. That's all. Let me get the disgorger out ready, just in case. Just got lots more stuff now to pack up. Oh, I've got a catapult in here, I think. I didn't think I had a catapult. I forgot I bought a new one.
And put some pastas as well if I get one.
Yeah. It's not my favourite disgorgers, but they'll work. In which case...
Haven't seen the lady today, the Irish lady?
No. Let's get some caster going in as well. There you go, that'll do. Because that all needs to be used because it's on its way out. And if you cast a little bit further, then I got the catapult there. I didn't realise I had the catapult.
I'm all fishy.
I might need to adjust the depth on it, Clark. It might be fishing a bit too shallow or a bit too deep. So I bought a load of maggot, didn't I, for the river yesterday and didn't catch anything, so I got quite a bit of maggot left over as well, Clark. What's that? Yeah, it's alright, bring it in. Let me get a plummet on. I'll take these maggot off because we can always put 2 fresh maggot on. Every time I hear somebody else's alarm going off over here, I always think it's mine. Even if it doesn't sound anything like my one.
Mine just got blundered, Daddy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The alarm will go off if there's one on. If there's one on, Clark, if you get a take.
Have you got one?
That's where you want to fish, yeah?
No. Yeah.
I think that's about right. It just needs to come up a little bit, that's all. Or did you want to go a bit further out?
Not far out, because they won't be far out, will they?
Well, they might be, because the lake's quite shallow today, Clark. So they might be a little bit further out, in which case you want to be out there. Which is, right, that's too deep. You want to be a little bit.
Are we having tacos tonight?
Yeah. You wanted tacos, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'll cook some tacos when we get home. Let's try that now.
That's not.
That's okay for by there, but it does need to. I didn't cast it as far out as the last one. Yeah. Yeah, that's right now, Clark.
Okay, could you. Is it heavy to cast out with that?
No, it's not heavy, but I always underarm cast, because if you overarm cast it, one, it might be a bit too heavy for the rod and maybe snap the rod, because it's only a float rod, it's not for casting out anything too heavy. And 2, you'll be able to cast this out much further than you will be able to cast out the float. If you're casting it out too far, you're not getting the right depth for where you're actually fishing. Because all these maggots are going to end up in the lake anyway at the end of our session, Clark. So use as many of them as you want to. Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to cast it, or are you casting it?
Cast. God, I can't get that far out on maggot.
You can. It's not that far, Clark.
No. Get one, I'll be happy.
Remember, just wind there a little bit until it wobbles and then leave it. There you go. And we'll get some maggot around there now. So like I said, we got plenty of maggot here to use. I got 2 pints of maggot. And the good thing is as well, drawing the silverfish in might draw the pike in a little bit as well. Right, wind it in a tiny bit towards you so that you're fishing where the maggot are. That's it. There you go. Hopefully you'll start getting some bites. I'll leave those next to you, okay?
Daddy,
Yeah.
bubble next to my earth.
Cool.
My then.
Where's your float gone?
I know where it is.
Yeah, where is it, Clark?
There.
Where?
There.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, there's bubble next to mine. Can I get one on in a minute? Do fish bubble?
Yeah, fish will bubble when they're feeding off the bottom. So you get bubbles rising up. You get little ripples rising up as well. I mean, sometimes you do have to be a little bit further out to get them. Depends on, with this lake, it depends on how shallow it is. It's quite shallow by it in here. If you haven't had anything in 5 minutes, bring it in and cast it back out again. But stand up when you do it, because you won't get as far sat down, Clark. Because you're not used to casting sat down, are you?
New silverfish on. Also today.
What's that?
New silverfish on up. Float today.
No float fishing today. They don't want it, do they?
Maybe not.
Yeah, you gotta keep drawing them in, Clark. I was gonna say it's gone.
I'm gonna say it's in.
No, not so much. Not so much, Clark. You're winding it right into the rod eye. Wind it in a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, that's why it ends up tangled like that, because you just wound it in while your finger was still on it.
Maybe one more cast, don't get anything.
No, Clark, you gotta have patience. You can't just cast out and expect to catch straight away. Bay alarm. You're gonna cast that pike float to a different spot. It's been sat there for the last hour with nothing, so I'll cast it to somewhere slightly different. Problem is with this when it gets very sunny, doesn't it? So it's difficult to see. That's that's the ledger rod. There's nothing on. Strike.
You want something on?
You got it?
Is there on then?
Yeah, cast it back out there then.
It's not on then, I didn't realise.
Yeah, you gotta keep an eye on that float, Clark.
It didn't go under.
It did go under.
I didn't see
Bay alarm.
it.
I'm relaying a little bit. That's it, only until it moves, that's it.
That wasn't your thing.
No, that's the float. But the float is set up to drift, Clark, so...
So I'm obviously your daddy in with it. Bubbles by it.
You might get a big perch again, monkey.